Hollywood, what? If you haven't heard, there's going to be a new Ghostbusters, but it's a reboot, and it's supposedly not going to have the original cast members, though they might have some sort of cameo. And the main Ghostbusters are going to be all women. What the fuck? Now, don't get me wrong, don't think I'm like being sexist about this, saying like oh no, they can't have a movie with all girls doing Ghostbusting. No, there has to be men doing that. That's a manly job. No, that's besides the point, and I'll clarify that point a little later. I first heard about this yesterday. Girlfiend broke the news to me. Then I opened up my email inbox, and about 1,000 of you else notified me about this. Girlfiend said to me, "Hey, they're making a Ghostbusters sequel." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Wow." I was like, "That's kind of a bummer considering one of them's dead. I wonder if they're going to just recast someone." She's like, "Oh no, they're recasting everyone. It's going to be 4 girls in the movie instead." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, the guy that directed Bridesmaids is going to be writing and directing it." What? Hollywood. This is probably, arguably, one of the biggest movies in my childhood. One of the most iconic films of the 1980s. It's hard to argue against that. It is something that stands up to today. It is something that entertains young and adult alike. You could take a 6-year-old child to see the movie Ghostbusters or put it on your television right now and they will be entertained. You could take it and put it on in front of your 80-year-old grandfather and he will be entertained. This is a movie of Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray at the peak of their career. This was just an absolute gem, written and directed by Harold Ramis, co-written by Dan Aykroyd. And now we're doing a fucking reboot of it? Are you kidding me? Now, I'm not saying the movie's destined to fail, but you hear all the fans clamoring for a Ghostbusters sequel. This is not what the fans wanted. This is not what the general public wanted. Now, granted, it could go on and be, the greatest film ever, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying it's destined to fail. But when there is such a movement for over a decade, Dan Aykroyd's been trying to put this together for over a decade, trying to get that Ghostbusters sequel done, Ghostbusters 3, whatever, just call it something different. That it was always in the works and just trying to get done, and it's like, now we're going to greenlight the all-girl project. What? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Now, going to the point of saying, I'm not, sexist, just saying, you can't have, it's a man's job type movie. It's the fact that Ghostbusters are so just entrenched in our minds as being 4 guys. Now you're going to reboot it as 4 girls doing the ghostbusting. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with it being 4 female actresses, but it just goes against what is already psychologically in our minds about what a Ghostbuster is. Now that might be just a minor point or whatever, but you do kind of wonder about the timing of this. The fact that Harold Ramis just died recently, the writer and director of the original Ghostbusters. And you got to say, would he have ever gave approval to this? Because one cast member has already come out, Ernie Hudson. I'll put on the screen what he had to say. He basically spelled out how, this isn't really what the fans have been asking for. This isn't really, in essence, a Ghostbusters film. This should just be called something else. This is taking the whole idea of reboot to a whole different level. Now, I was pissed when they rebooted The Karate Kid and made it in China, but karate's from Japan and whatever. And Karate Kid was one of my favorite films when I was a kid. And much like the Ghostbusters, it's a quintessential 80s film. And it's a nice story of a kid that's struggling as a teenager in a new high school and bullies and learning martial arts and to stand up for himself. To now it's like, okay, we won't have that teenage high school theme. We're gonna go with 12-year-old Jaden Smith in China, and we're gonna crowbar in a very awkward, uncomfortable relationship angle. And Jackie Chan's in it though. No, not enough. It fucking sucked. It fucking sucked. It's reasons like this why I won't watch this reboot shit, and if I do, I barely ever enjoy it. I will never, ever, ever watch that Bad News Bears reboot. Oh my god, from my cold dead hand, they will take my gun. That has nothing to do with it, but the day that I watch that Bad News Bears reboot with Billy Bob Thornton, oh fucking just whew, oh my god, my head will just drop off my fucking shoulders, because the TV will turn on. I'll just be like, oh, time to, and my head will just leave my body, because my head will know it's just time to no longer go on living. Ugh. Anyways, the Walter Matthau, Tatum O'Neal version. For those of you who don't know another version of the Bad News Bears exists, watch the Walter Matthau, Tatum O'Neal version. It's about a bajillion times better than the Billy Bob Thornton one. How could you say that? You never even sell it. Trust me, it's better. Anyway, this whole rebooting shit, it's just gotta stop. It's just gotta stop. It's just cash grabbing. It's just cash grabbing and selling something that is already an established product and rebooting it to a point that it barely resembles I mean, how much is it going to resemble with 4 women being in this? Again, it may be a better film, but it's just the fact that they're playing on the yearnings of the Ghostbusters audience that wants to see more Ghostbusters. And they're not giving us what we want. They're giving us something completely different. Again, maybe we should all just take a deep breath, give it a chance. Because I know, it didn't come out yet, we don't know who's in it, it may suck, it may be good, but all I know is this approach of rebooting it to this complete of a difference has put it behind the 8 ball. And that's not really fair to the people in the film and all that, because they're just going to, if this movie bombs, they're going to be seen as the actors and actresses that fucking destroyed Ghostbusters for good and killed off any possible chance of getting an actual sequel made with the remaining living Ghostbuster members. Anyway, Ghostbusters coming in a few years to a theater near you with 4 chicks in it. Sorry if that offends some feminists. That's a reference to my feminist video that I made the other day. I became a feminist, if you guys didn't know that. But you have to watch the previous video to find out what exactly that means. Have a good day, everyone.